All right, welcome to this next video in the Asana series for the OneChurch.to staff team. We've talked about a bunch of the overviews, and now we're going to dive right in and look at how you get work done in Asana using your inbox and my tasks. Okay, so we're going to start in the inbox, and I'm going to invite you to my Asana right now. So let's jump in there and let's check out. Again, I'm starting in the home view, which is likely what you load up your Asana in for the first time. I've got the sidebar open. If you can't see that, just click on that hamburger menu and you're gonna go over to inbox. All right, so I'm gonna hide the sidebar just so we have a good view here. And let's talk through what we see in the inbox. Now, two really important things. There's kind of a left side and a right side. On the left side, you are gonna see all kind of the flow of information that is coming into you as notifications. So everything that is coming in, you're gonna notice there's a date stamp on it, and you can see how things are coming into you. Now, when you click on something, you're gonna notice that it is showing the details of it on the right-hand side. There's a lot of things you can do right here from your inbox in terms of interacting with it. So let's just go right with this little pop-up menu that shows up when you mouse over top of any task or message or anything that's in your inbox notifications. The first one is to star it. So this is actually a really good way of sorting your inbox by priority. If there's things that you want to get back to and focus on, just click that star button. And then when you need to, you can head up to the top where it says starred, and it'll filter everything that is not starred, filter it out, and so you're left with all the things that are starred, and that helps you stay focused on those things. Now, if we head back to the activity, which is the normal view, you can remove that star just by clicking that button as well. The next option there is create a follow-up task. Now, this is really helpful if someone sends you a message and you need to take action on it. Now, we're gonna get to this later, but this is important to note that sending a message when there's action required, next steps of any sort, it's really not a good idea. And that's because you can't set a due date, you can't reassign it to someone else. The follow-up is really limited. So only send messages when you can. We'll get that in detail, but maybe someone sent you a message and you want to take action on it. Create a follow-up task, and that will help you to reassign a date or time, whatever you want to do to interact with it. And just if it helps you, when you create a follow-up task, no one will be notified unless you add them as a collaborator some way. So that doesn't mean that Stephanie Jones is gonna see that I created a follow-up task, okay? So if that bugs you, you don't have to worry about that. Now you notice some of these tasks have a blue dot beside them, like this one, and some of them don't. And that's because they've been marked as red. The blue dot means they are unread. Not having the blue dot means they are red. So if I want to mark something as unread, I can just hit that button, and then that helps me see that I have not read this yet. So if for some reason you clicked on something and now it's marked as read, you can just click that and it will be marked as unread for you. So you can pick up wherever you need to when you're getting back to work. Now the last item in that menu is the archive notification. So if you've read something, you got everything you need to get out of that, there's no follow-up needed, or you've already reassigned it or whatever you need to do, you can hit that archive button, and that will throw whatever it is into your archive. Now, if you need to see that still, where do you find it? Well, you just up right where we were earlier, you're gonna see that archive tab, and there you can see all the things that you have archived, and this is a great feature. It is sorted by the timestamp of when you archived it. So the one at the very top is the last one that you archived, which you can see is this one right here, and now I can just remove it from my archive, and that means it'll go right back to my activity field. So I'm there, I'm back in the inbox, okay? So what are some things that we need to talk about here? Well, let me talk about one really important thing, how to use your inbox. Your inbox, if you're not careful, can be a place where you get reprioritized really quickly, where others who are notifying you, well, maybe they could take over your workday and you could just spend a lot of time just following whatever's coming in your inbox. And this is one of the reasons why we moved to Asana, is to avoid that. You know, sometimes you can be caught in your email inbox and just feel like all day you spend doing work that is recommended by other people or requested by other people instead of getting the work that you know might be a priority. So don't spend all day in your inbox, and if you need to, remember you can snooze notifications for a bit if you need to get focused. But this is a place where you want to take quick action. You want to keep your inbox pretty clean. So how to do that? If you can respond to it quick while you have time to go through your inbox, then respond to it quick. Say sounds good, and then hit archive. Or you might want to reschedule it for follow-up later. So that might mean changing the due date or reassigning it to a different project or a different agenda that you'll be able to follow up on another time. So try to get through it as quick as you can. You don't really want to work from your inbox. This is where you learn what's going on, you collaborate with other people, and then you move back into your tasks to actually get the work done. So that's the best practice for that. Now, you might have noticed on the inbox, there's a lot of options that talk about messages and messages I've sent. We're going to get to messages in another video. But for now, we're done with the inbox. So we're going to head up to My Tasks. So I just went back to that sidebar, clicked on My Tasks, and now I see a view of all the tasks that are assigned to me. So let's talk about My Tasks. They are, like I said, all the tasks that are assigned to you. And there's multiple ways of seeing things. You can look at sorting it in a few different ways. You can look at incomplete tasks, completed tasks. You can kind of do a retrospective if you want to sit back and look at all the great work you've done. You can look at some of the completed tasks recently. You can look at it in different views, which we'll talk about later. But let me make a recommendation here. A number of our team that are kind of the Uber users of Asana would really recommend you use the following technique when it comes to your tasks. That is sorting by due date. And this helps you stay kind of focused on whatever's coming up next. Sometimes we can skip over something that's important because it's tough to do, but it's the next thing we need to be doing. So this helps me stay focused on what I need to be doing. And here's the thing. If you don't keep some time to stay up to date with when things are due, this could quickly look like a whole bunch of overdue items. And so what a recommendation would be is at the end of every workday, if possible, might not always be possible, but at least once a week, spend some time looking through any overdue tasks. And if you don't have the time to do it right away, then reschedule it to a time that you do have. And for me, I actually have some blocks of time in my calendar where it says Asana and Inbox, and it gives me some time to either sort through those tasks or actually just get some work done that's maybe unrelated to other blocks of time I have in my calendar. So maybe at the end of the day, here's a quick recommendation. Add a little block of time in your calendar where you look at tomorrow's calendar, see what events you have coming up, if there's anything you need to mentally prepare for, maybe some things you need to organize real quickly, and look at your tasks. See if there's anything that's overdue today that you might be kicking yourself you didn't check before you left work tonight, and you'll have to show up tomorrow with it hanging over your head. So that's a great way to end your work day. It helps you really leave the work at work and head off and enjoy your time away from work. Okay, so I'd really recommend working that way. Let's look at the inbox a little bit more. Okay, so as you can see really quickly here, all the names of the tasks are here. The due dates are listed here, and you can see that's how I have chosen to sort them. I can see who created them, the projects they're a part of, the date it was created on, and last modified. Now, if you can't see that, that might be because you haven't turned on some of these potential columns. And you can customize this a bit if you'd like to. You can add columns or fields, I guess they're called, and customize it a bit more. But in general, sorting by due date is the recommendation here. Now, you can look, if you scroll way to the bottom, and I mean way to the bottom, bear with me here. Okay, there are some things that are listed by later, upcoming, and today. That is another method of sorting. Now, if you want to, you could sort that way, but here's the drawback on that. That means every day something comes due, it's going to be put in your today folder. And if you change anything, it'll still be in your today folder until you assign it to a different folder. Okay, so it's meant to be like automatic and to help you stay on top of things and focus on what's coming up. But sorting things by the due date actually does the exact same thing, and it's a lot more efficient because when you change the due date, it just changes where it filters it for you. Okay, so that's a look at your inbox and a look at the tasks that are under My Tasks. And those are the two most important places to get work done. I hope this was helpful. We'll see you in the next video.